so in this lesson, what we're going to talk about is anxiety. So I'm going to talk about what anxiety is and how you can use lifestyle choices to improve anxiety levels. So first of all, what is anxiety? It's all about your perception about how you see any given situation, which comes down to how you think about any given situation. We've all heard the glass is half full, the glass is half empty. That's about your perception about how you see things. If you're always like, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. You probably have a glass is half empty. And if you're the, oh, that's amazing, that's definitely going to work, you're the half full. So it's all about how you see things and then how you think about them. So if you have a meeting with someone and it's not exactly going the way you want it to, are you going to turn that in on yourself and say, oh, that's all because of me? Or is it because of them? Do you get what I mean? If you have a meeting with your boss and your boss is completely negative with whatever you're talking about, are you the sort of person that's going to turn it in yourself? Or are you going to see, oh, is the boss in a good mood? Or is there something else going on? Are you going to turn it in yourself, or are you going to look at the bigger picture? It's all about how you think and see and the story that you tell yourself. Okay? Looks pretty simple on paper, but when you're anxious and you're stuck in the thick of it, it's not that easy to just decipher it back to being that simple. So how can you have an impact on your anxiety, on your mood, on your thinking? So first of all, it's blood sugar. If your blood sugar's off, you're going to be more anxious. So we've heard of being hungry, we've heard of being hangry, and then we've heard a little bit about blood sugar. So if you are hungry, it doesn't necessarily mean that your blood sugar's off. If you are hangry, I would definitely say your blood sugar level's off. And what am I talking about when I talk about blood sugar? So you get up in the morning, and the first thing you do is you run, you grab a coffee, boom. And then you get a little croissant to go with it. So your energy level's coming up. It's going to go pretty high. And then what happens is you kind of just crash and burn. Okay? And then to get you feeling like you're actually a human again, you go and you grab either another coffee or you grab something a little bit sugary to get your energy levels back up, to get you feeling a bit better, and then you get that all the way up to the top, and then you crash and burn again. Okay? Then it comes to lunchtime, you grab a nice white sandwich with a soda, and your blood sugar's up again, and then you crash. And then that's the whole way. What we're looking for your blood sugar is just to stay stable and even. Every time it crashes, that's when you're going to feel anxious. And you might even realize, you might not even relate it to your mood and how you're feeling, but if your blood sugar is always going up and down, your mood is always going up and down. So how do you deal with that? How do you address that? The most important thing you need to do is make sure you've got enough protein with each meal. And the problem for most people is that breakfast and lunch don't contain enough protein. Dinner is usually fine, but breakfast and lunch is usually lacking, especially if you're eating granola or a bagel. For breakfast, you're just not getting enough protein. Okay, and protein is what keeps you fuller for longer, sustains your blood sugar because there is no sugar in protein. It's just going to help to improve how you function throughout the day. So if you're not getting enough protein with your breakfast, your lunch, you're just going all day long. You want to make sure you're having about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. Separate lesson, all by itself. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, get onto that lesson. Then we're going to talk about sleep. Sleep is majorly important and has a huge role on and impact on your anxiety levels. If you are not getting enough sleep, you're not recovering well enough. You're not rested, you're not fresh in the morning. So your thinking just kind of becomes a little bit more negative because you're tired. So what am I talking about when I say sleep? I want you to be getting between 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And that means being aware of what time you're going to bed so that you can get up after having 7 to 8 hours sleep a night. If you're the sort of person that gets up at 7 a.m. every day, you need to be going to bed at 12, but you need to be preparing to go to bed from about 11:30. Okay? If it takes you an hour to fall asleep, well then you got to be starting at 10:30 to get to bed, to then be asleep by 12, and get your 7 to 8 hours. If you're the sort of person that has to wake up early for work during the week, so I get up at 5, I need to try and maintain that on the weekends. But the problem is, if I go out on a Friday night, Saturday night, or I just stay up late, go wild, watch a movie, what's going to happen is my sleep is going to get impacted. And it's not that I can't stay in bed. I usually wake up at 5 a.m. and on the weekends I can kind of push it to 6, but at 6 o'clock I'm lying there going, it's time to wake up. So if I take 3 hours, I stay up late, I take 3 hours off my sleeping window, I'm minus that. Okay, there's nothing I can do about it because I can't actually stay asleep. Yes, and maybe I'll have a nap or whatever, but the quality of my sleep is going to be affected if I take those 3 hours off one side because I can't build them on the other side. So if you're the sort of person that wakes up at 7 a.m. every day, try on the weekends to wake up at 7 because we have a circadian rhythm and your body just finds a natural rhythm and that's where it wants to stay. It's a learned pattern for me. Who wants to wake up at 5 a.m.? So make sure you set yourself a bedtime, but also keep it consistent. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now if you've gone out and a drink, you might find you can stay asleep. Then we're going to go with if you're lonely. If you're lonely, it can have a negative impact on you because you might feel that the walls are coming in. And what I mean by lonely is that you've got no real social interaction, you've got no community. So you're always trying to make sure that you've got community, you've got a good support network. Without that, you're going to be anxious. Okay? If you feel like the walls are closing in and you've got no outlet, you really got to work on that. Then the next one is angry. If you're angry, it's going to have a negative impact on your thought process because you're going to see everything as a negative. That glass is half empty. Okay? So the two things that I can help you address are your blood sugar and your sleep. Angry, I'm afraid you might need to go and speak to someone. And lonely, you just got to try and build a community, build a network for yourself. So eat protein with each meal, set yourself a bedtime, and please make sure you're getting 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep at night. Thank you for joining.